October 23rd of 2023, I downloaded a fitness app called FitOn, and I have continued an uninterrupted streak of working out with this app for over a year. So I wanted to report on my results. 6 workouts a week for over a year. Here's what happened. This is not a massive weight loss story or advert. Yes, I've lost a few pounds by doing this consistent exercise using FitOn, but that's not the point of the video. And before I go any further, let me tell you why I'm making this video. I mean, my channel is a travel channel and a British culture channel, so why am I talking about this? I'll get to that in a second because there is a connection, but more importantly, I'm doing this video to pay it forward because I found out about the FitOn app by watching a travel channel and watching a woman who was visiting the Cotswolds and explaining that she got her workout in by doing a workout on her phone using this free app called FitOn. So at the time, I was already doing something else for working out and I didn't do anything with that information. But the time came that I decided to make a change to my workout routine and I looked up more details about FitOn and I've been using it ever since and I love it. So I am hoping that this video will help at least one person maybe make changes in their life that help them to feel better, and then it's all worth it. So let's talk a little bit about me and my lifestyle. I live here in Texas for about 7 months of the year, and then I spend the summers in Britain and we travel to other places as well for the balance of time. And while I'm gone, wandering the world or living in our flat in Cheltenham in Gloucestershire, England, I have a very active lifestyle. So if I'm traveling someplace, whether it's London or the Lake District in England or Vienna or wherever I am often getting in a lot of steps every day, 15, 20,000 steps. That's great, but I also, as I'm aging, am more and more focused on building muscle and building bone strength and building flexibility and balance. Because as a 60-year-old woman with bone density issues, my biggest concern is just not getting injured. I don't want to break a hip. I don't want to break any bones. And so for me to be able to be at a healthy weight, to be active and flexible and have good balance so that if I'm walking somewhere and I kind of lose my footing, that I can catch myself without falling and breaking a bone, that's great. In addition to the fact that weight-bearing exercise is what helps you to have stronger bones. So I'm really committed to doing weight-bearing exercise and in doing weightlifting that helps increase overall strength and muscle mass and muscle tone. That's why I started being so focused on working out, was because I wanted all of those benefits for longevity and healthy aging. But along the way, the biggest thing that I have learned this year is that overall health is both mental health and physical health. And it was only after doing these workouts this consistently that I was able to really appreciate the fact that regular exercise of this type can help me both with mental health as well as physical health. And they're both super important. So let's talk a little bit about why I work out and about why the FitOn app is such a great option for working out. First of all, less aches and pains. In my 30s, I had chronic back pain. So at that point in my life, I had 2 small children. I was working a very demanding job at a Fortune 500 company here in the US. I was working probably 60 hours a week and then trying to juggle being a good mom and spending time with my husband in the hours that I wasn't at work, and fitting in regular workouts was very hard. Plus, I was under a lot of stress in my job, and stress connects to back pain. So I wasn't able to really prevent the back pain. In fact, I was doing things that encouraged back pain, and then it was difficult for me to treat it. So I was running to the chiropractor all the time trying to address my acute back pain problems. And at least once or twice a year, I would have such a terrible back issue that I had trouble even getting out of bed. I was constantly having kind of low-key nagging back pain, and then it would be an acute flare-up a couple times a year that just had me laid out flat. And I can say now that I'm 60, I don't have any of those problems. I don't ever have chronic back pain. Now, it's not to say I might not ache a little bit sometimes, but usually it's because I've been doing a back strengthening workout and I just have sore muscles like you would have anywhere on your body if you've exercised them. So for me, that is a massive reason for me to keep working out every day and week in and week out, because in my family, we all have chronic back pain, and that's the only way for me to avoid having those issues is by doing things preventatively to keep it from happening. The second reason is strengthening and developing muscle mass. Especially as we age, we know that we lose muscle mass every year as we get older. And the only way to address that is to try to reverse it by increasing the amount of protein that we have in our diet, and then doing resistance training, weight-bearing exercise, weightlifting, these activities that build muscle mass and build strength. I've always been a person with really low muscle mass, and as a even teenager and someone in my 20s, I was not an athlete. I didn't lift weights. I didn't have activities in my life that really developed muscle. So I was starting at a very low bar. And I definitely have seen a difference in my strength since I have been working out so consistently with weights now for several years. So when I'm traveling and I have my one carry-on bag that I'm hoisting above my head into the overhead bin, I can actually lift it up there now, where when I was back in my 30s with my bag getting on a plane for a work trip, I was always looking around for someone who could help me put my bag in the overhead bin for me. The other big reason for me is flexibility and balance. As I mentioned before, I have bone density issues, so I want to strengthen my bones and I want to prevent falls. So preventing injury is really a key concern of mine for the rest of my life. So anything I can do to help prevent that, that's what I'm gonna do. Doing weight training, resistance training, and also flexibility. I do stretching, I do exercises that help me with my balance, and all of those things really help me to prevent injury. On the FitOn app, they have a massive number of workouts, including rehabilitation and joint mobility and workouts for older people. And anyone who's ever gone to an exercise class or done any workouts has probably heard the term modifications. And I am a big fan of modifications. I modify so many things when I'm doing workouts because I know the things that I have to avoid. I do have some disc issues in my lower back, so I can't do high impact jumping. I have to do low impact cardio things. And there are lots of options for that on FitOn. And I can even do a workout that is high impact. I just modify it in a low impact way. Anything that involves putting all your body weight on your wrists, I modify it in a way that doesn't include that for me. So I'm able to keep up with and do pretty much any workout just by adjusting it to the needs of my body. The final reason why I work out is back to what I was saying earlier, mental health. I have seen such a difference in my sense of self-esteem and confidence by working out regularly. Exercise is a great way to deal with stress. And anyone who's dealing with issues like ADHD, depression, anxiety, a high stress environment, whether it's personal or work or whatever, exercise is a great outlet for working through those things that are stressing you in your brain by working hard with your body and also just clearing your mind. Although I have learned the hard way that there's a right and a wrong way to work out when it comes to improving your mental health. And I really want to talk about that because I think that's so important and really the biggest learning that I've had throughout this last year I've been on this journey. I'm going to share with you a few of the quotes that I've heard on FitOn from the various trainers that I've watched on their workouts, which have really helped me get my mind in the right place throughout this exercise and fitness journey the last year. The first one is, work out because you love your body, not because you hate your body. We might have things about our body that we dislike, that frustrate us. We want it to look differently. We want it to work differently. We want to overcome issues, but we should be working out because we love our body and we want it to last a long time and feel good, and not because we hate the way we look or that we hate the limitations our body has. That negative energy is not healthy. And I've had to learn that lesson over and over again. And it really translates from working out to life in general. Another quote that I love, and my sons have heard me say this so many times because I say it to them all the time too, is speak to yourself in a positive voice. When you're in the middle of a workout, inside your head say, you can do that. You can last another 15 seconds doing this cardio burst or whatever it is. And congratulate yourself for, wow, you lifted a weight that was 2 pounds more than the last time you did weightlifting. Speaking to yourself in a positive voice is this virtuous cycle of then you just wanting to exercise more and more. And while you're exercising, part of that speaking to yourself in a positive voice is also tricking your body physiologically by smiling. If you do a workout and you're exercising really hard and you force yourself to put a smile on your face, it has a physiological effect of helping you feel better and making you want to exercise again the next day. It sounds crazy, but it really works. 2 more quotes I love. One is listen to your body. While you're working out, if something doesn't feel right, modify how you're doing it. Listen to the trainer. If they're telling you to make sure your knees are bent or your back is straight or you're not supposed to be bending at the wrist, listen to those cues so that your form is correct. And if something is too hard so that you feel yourself flopping around and not keeping good form, then stop. Take a second to put that weight down, pick up a lighter weight, just use body weight, or modify the activity you're doing so that you don't risk injury. We're all on a personal fitness journey, and we need to listen to our body and do what's right for us. Another important insight that I learned from a FitOn trainer was don't criticize yourself when you are under the physical stress and strain of exercise. Exercise is taxing the body. That's how we make it stronger, is by putting it under some type of stress or strain or exerting effort. When you are in the midst of doing that, if you then are berating yourself, scolding yourself that you can't pick up that heavy weight and do the bicep curl you're in the middle of trying to do, don't criticize yourself in that moment because it has an amplifying effect. Not only will it make you incapable of doing the physical activity you're trying to do, but it will also amplify your negative thoughts about yourself. And it's a downward spiral. And that's what I have learned the hard way when I have been making the effort to exercise. And then while I'm exercising, telling myself, you're doing it wrong, you're not good enough, you're not enough. That's when I've finished a workout feeling worse than when I started. And that's doing it wrong, because normally I feel so much better when I finish a workout. I feel physically tired, but yet energized, if that makes sense. And I also just have a different mindset for starting the day. I'm a morning workout person, and I can tell you I truly 100% feel better the rest of the day if I work out first. So finally, let me explain why specifically FitOn has been such a great product for me to use, such a great app, and why I hope that you give it a try. First and foremost, it is free. FitOn is a completely free app that you can use worldwide. So that's why it's relevant to me as a person who lives in Britain a good chunk of the year and travels all around. The fact that I can do FitOn on my phone, on my laptop, or on a smart TV using the FitOn app is fantastic because it allows me to be consistent and anywhere do a workout. With this FitOn app, I have done workouts here in my media room in Texas. I've done them in our flat in Cheltenham. I've done them at the Premier Inn in London. I've done them at Airbnbs all across Europe, Belgium, the Netherlands, Germany, even at the converted stables in Yorkshire. I have done workouts using the FitOn app everywhere I've gone. So that's why I thought I was allowed to do a fitness video, even though this is a travel channel.
This was one of the times I had to get really creative with my workout location. We were staying in a beautiful manor house, country house hotel in North Wales, but the rooms were very hot. Even with the window open and the cool air outside, it just wasn't circulating. So I came outside to work out in the morning. Early on a Saturday morning, I found a tree stump to put my phone on to play the FitOn workout and hold my water bottle. And I did my workout on the nice soft lawn. A standing workout, obviously. But I had a view that was amazing. Huge, beautiful trees, wide open spaces, the mountains of Snowdonia in the background, and also, of course, the beautiful Victorian manor house.
One of the other things I wanted to mention is how modular FitOn is. I've done other workout apps where you do, all the workouts are like 30 or 40 minutes, and that's the only kind of format and option. Whereas with FitOn, there's thousands of different workouts of all types. So if you like anything in particular, whether it's yoga, Pilates, cardio, weightlifting, boxing, you name it, there are options on FitOn for most anything you want to do. And what I particularly love is that there's a real focus on the types of exercise that studies have shown increase your fitness the most, which is weightlifting and HIIT training, or high intensity interval training. So that's what I work into my fitness routine on a daily basis. I love the fact that so many of the workouts are short, so I can stack them and make a customized approach every day. I also love that even when I have kind of a crazy travel schedule, I can fit in something. So I highly recommend FitOn because it is portable. You can do it anywhere in the world. It is convenient. You can do it no matter how crazy your schedule is. There are so many workouts that even in 15 or 20 minutes, you can do a lot of good and get that workout in. I hope you give FitOn a try. If so, let me know what you think. And if you have any questions, ask me in the comments. Thank you so much for watching this video, and do something good in the world today.